Hello everybody, I, Komal Gurnani, welcome you all to my YouTube channel Mech Digest. Previously on my channel, I have shown you to model the parts of shock assembly. Today in this video, I am going to tell you how to assemble those parts. To assemble those parts, we are going to use bottom-up approach today. Okay, fine. Now, you must always refer to the drawing in order to understand that how the parts are assembled. So let us go to Solidworks and first of all let us open all the part files. Okay, we have opened all of them at once, so we'll just wait for a few seconds for all the files to open. Okay, so now we have all the files opened here. Now let us set up the assembly file. Okay. So now see, the advantage of opening all the part files is we can see them here in the open documents. We are able to see all the part files which we have opened in the open documents. And we can directly pick it up, the parts from open documents, to the screen. Okay. Now to start with the assembly, we are going to make the origin visible. It has the greatest importance, the reason being, in order to constrain the first part at the correct position, you must coincide the origin of the part to the origin of the assembly by bringing the cursor near to the origin of assembly. Okay, and in order to check whether the first part is fully defined or no, we have the prefix here which is F, which shows that the first part is fully defined. Okay, see, this is going to give the first part a fixed constraint, and remember guys, this is the first part is the frame of reference for the other parts to be assembled. Okay, so now following the 3-to-1 principle, every part requires 3 constraints to become a fully constrained part. Okay, so now let us insert the second part, which is U support. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to pick U support from open documents and you can place it anywhere on the screen. Okay, see, how did I decide that I have to assemble U support as the second part? I have referred the assembly drawing. Okay, yeah. So now in order to put the constraints, we have to start with mate. Okay. So let us make the hole concentric with the shaft. Okay, so now if we can see that it is coming at the correct position, we can lock the rotation here by checking this box. So that would be the second constraint. First constraint is making them concentric and second constraint is locking the rotation. Okay. Now the translation would be free. So in order to lock that, we have to coincide the bottom face of the U support to the top face of the cylinder. Okay. So the U support is fully defined. You can check in mates the applied constraints. Okay. Now let us call the third part, which is pivot. Just pick it from the open documents and place it on the screen. Okay. So again, making the cylindrical faces concentric, and again if it's at the correct position, we will lock the rotation. Done. Okay. Now this needs to be assembled exactly at the symmetric position of this gap. So we have to check the planes of U support. Okay, we are going to use right plane of U support to front plane of pivot to coincide them. Okay. Now here we have to insert bush. So take bushing. Okay. Again, making the cylindrical faces concentric and lock rotation. Yes. See, if the translation or any sort of movement is free, it will move upon dragging. Okay. Now making the face contact, the bush is fully defined. Okay. We can continuously check the status of the assembly here at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Now the same bushing part we want for this gap as well. So rather than repeatedly calling the part, if we understand that this has to be mirrored, we can directly mirror it. Okay, so define the mirror plane and component to mirror. This will be mirrored with all the constraints. So no need to provide a separate constraint to the part which has been mirrored. Okay. Now the next part is going to be hexagonal bolt. Okay. Mate and lock rotation and give a face contact. Okay. Now after assembling the hexagonal bolt, we are going to insert castle nut. Okay. So mate, concentric alignment. Okay. Now see guys, here we need to flip the component because these faces are going to be contacted. So flip the direction and lock rotation. Okay. Now coincident to make the contact between these two faces. Okay. Now in order to fix the U support with the bracket, we are going to use washer and then self-locking nut. Okay, so let us again repeat the same constraint: concentric lock rotation and coincide for face contact. Concentric, flip it, lock rotation, and face contact. So guys, we are done with the shock assembly. Okay, in the link I am going to, in the description, sorry, I am going to mention all the links of the parts which I have made in my previous videos so that you can directly refer to them. And I would really like if you guys give a feedback, or you can ask any doubt or any questions or anything about SolidWorks, CATIA, Creo, Unigraphics. I would really welcome the feedback and suggestions, and for that, you need to be tuned in with me by pressing the subscribe button, and to get notified, press the bell icon.